right, good afternoon, my friends. Brian with VetteSource here on a Saturday next to the freeway today, so excuse the road noise. But today I'm going to give you a little preview here of a side project that presented itself that I had to go pick up and take care of. So what we're looking at right here is kind of a really rare car hidden in plain sight. Now, of course, you look at this, and if you know some of your Corvette bodywork and styles, you would assume this is a 1991 through 1996 Corvette Convertible that's been sitting for a while. But if you look a little bit closer, you'll start to see some things that'll give you some indication of what it is, and the fact this is actually a very rare car. So, of course, looking at it, like I said, on the surface, you've got 91 through 96 body style on it. But Corvettes, what they did over the years was they made quite a few Indianapolis 500 pace cars. And, you know, now they've gotten to the point they make so many of them pace cars that they've kind of lost their, what's the word I'm looking for? Not functionality, but just their specialness, if you will, right? So this car I had to pick up for a long-time customer. He's had it for a while, just kind of ran out of time to mess with it, and I'm gonna go ahead and move it down the road for him to find a new home. But what this car is one of these Indianapolis 500 pace cars. Now, Corvette first paced the Indianapolis race in 1978, and then that was our black and silver Corvettes that are individually numbered. And of course, for a while, collectors went crazy over them and hoarded them and put them away and thought they'd be worth a bunch of money. And you know, it's still kind of, the jury's out on that, if you will, because the value of them is all over the map. So the 86 Corvette was the first year that they introduced the convertible again. So Chevrolet decided to pace the Indy 500 with it. Now, because they kind of, I don't know if they were just trying to be sneaky or they just didn't want to make that much attention, draw much attention to it, they decided that the 86 pace cars, which are all convertibles, by the way, were not going to be really special other than a badge on the AC heater control and a set of decals you got to put on the door for Indianapolis 500. So all the 86 convertible Corvettes are technically pace car replicas because they all came with badging. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that obviously it's missing, there's a little badge that goes right here that tells you it's an Indianapolis 500 pace car. But of all the convertibles they produced that year, I want to say they produced, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000, I think. Only 732 of them, or 23, were yellow. And if you look back there, you can clearly see this is one of the yellow 1986 pace car convertibles. Now, this one obviously has led kind of a rough life. It's not been babied by any stretch. It's got the black interior in it, which is kind of cool. But for some reason, not only did they decide to change this from, and there's that original yellow right there that we're looking at. The original yellow, they put 91 to 96 front rear bumpers on it to make it look like a newer car. Now you can see probably why they did this. See these welds right here? That means this front tie plate has been changed because these are not factory welds. Those are real sloppy. So what's happened is this car was probably wrecked at one point in its past. And what they did was they went ahead and just updated it to look like a 91 through 96 and then repainted it in the process. And I mean, they painted the jams, they painted everywhere they could get where they thought you could kind of see the yellow, even though they missed the inside of the doors and that back. And then of course they added this funky roll cage in here, or roll bar I should say. So that's in there, which is welded into place, of course. But it's a complete car. My buddy was driving it up until, I think it's been sitting probably 7 or 8 years at least. You can see they probably did some repair there, which is common on these. Now, it's an 86 convertible, so all the 86 convertibles have aluminum heads. So this is the aluminum headed version to twin port injection with 235 horsepower. But it's a pretty solid car. It really deserves, to me, to be restored back into its yellow original livery as a pace car, especially considering how few numbers these cars are. God, what a horrible paint job they had on it. There you go. There's that original yellow right underneath that 5 inches thick paint. But anyway, it's a neat car. It's a solid Corvette project. So what I figured I'd do today is show you guys real quick kind of this car. I haven't even bothered to try to start it again. I know he told me last time he had it going, it was running just fine, but the transmission was not wanting to go into all the gears. So I'm sure it's going to need work. And by now I'm sure the fuel pump assembly is no good on it right now, but it is a solid, complete, original yellow. Let's actually see if we can see on this door here when it was produced. 586. So yeah, this was one of the 5010. Huh, that's interesting. Does it say 5? Yeah, I guess. Huh. Let me look at this again, guys, because that's interesting. This car was the 5,000th Corvette made in 86, and it was built in May, which seems early to me, but I'm gonna have to look at my build information again. So it's a neat car. It's a solid project for somebody. I'm probably gonna throw the battery back in it tomorrow and see if it'll fire up for me. I'm sure it'll. Well, I take that back. With the fuel pump bad, and I'm assuming our fuel pump's gonna be bad, it probably won't fire up. It's got these interesting looking, very 80s centerline wheels on them that are actually still in pretty good shape. Got an antenna, 80s old school antenna built into it, but kind of a neat car, really, and kind of a neat historical perspective. And it just goes to show you that sometimes, guys, you read a lot of these stories about barn finds and such, you'll never know what's hiding right in front of you. Now again, I know basically what I'm looking at after doing this for so many years, but it is interesting that if you didn't know general appearances, you would just think this was another yellow Corvette. Now the yellow Corvettes in and of themselves are fairly unique because they don't make too many of them. They're always a rare car, like the 96 LT4 we took for a drive the other day. That's one of 103 built. So and what's crazy about it is yellow is such a good looking color on Corvettes. It's probably my favorite besides the red. But what I'm gonna do with this is, if you guys know anybody that's looking or is curious, been wanting a project C4 Corvette, let me know in the comment sections below. If you guys can set me up with somebody that wants to buy it, I always will pay a finder's fee for it as well. And I really would like to see this go to another home rather than try to tear it down for parts, simply because it is a rare car. Of course, ignore these are the 3 engines I just pulled out of different Corvettes here. There's 2 84s, there's an 85 here. I'm gonna do another video tearing down these bracket systems on these. These 84s have a 1-year only bracket system set up on them. So we'll see how that goes. But that's gonna wrap things up today. It's a little hot still, and frankly, I had to go get this and didn't get time to work on my Formula 350 twin port injection rebuild. Now we're on the rebuild side of it, so we'll have some more for that later. But thanks for checking in, guys, and we'll catch up with you next time, okay? We'll see you then.